Greetings fellow captains and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships with the Hivehound, and today we've got another community replay from Bun Bun. Bun Bun 143, a fellow PlayStation player, but we've actually had a couple of games together, and we're diving straight into the action here, right off the bat, engaging the Nagato, and Bun Bun is gonna, well, seriously punish this. She's seriously gonna punish everyone, absolutely everyone in this match, using the reload booster and getting a little bit unfortunate with it. It was definitely the right time to use it. There's a Nagato broadside, but unfortunately, as you can see, two penetrations and one shatter. The guns on the Jean Bart are pretty monstrous, in all fairness. So scoring 30,000 damage already before turning to the enemy Iowa, and the Iowa's going to disappear. So see if we can pay attention to what's going on when our shells hit. So 5 penetrations, 18,000 damage, and only 1 shatter. Again, unlucky not to get the sit down as one of the guns getting knocked out. So whilst we've got this bit's going to slow down a little bit, but I guess Sonia is going to dodge those rounds. So just briefly discuss. There's not an awful lot to say about the history of the Jean Bart, unfortunately. The Jean Bart was a fast French battleship and the second and final member of the Richelieu class. Comment if you can guess what the other ship was called. So it was built in response to the Italian Lorotto class. The Richelieus were based immediately on their predecessors, the Dunkirk, with the unconventional, all the turrets, all the firepower at the front, but they were designed to chase down and hunt rather than sort of brawl out in battles. So the guns were scaled up from 13-inch, which were on the Dunkirk, to 15-inch or 380mm guns. They also increased the armour protection. Jean Bart was laid down in 1936 and wasn't launched until 4 years later in 1940. It did have a small role in World War II when the American and British forces invaded French North Africa in Operation Torch. The Jean Bart initially helped to resist the attack, engaging in a gunnery duel with a battleship USS Massachusetts before being badly damaged by American dive bombers. She basically then, obviously the French came on board the Allied side, so she then went off to Casablanca, where the French hoped that the American Navy were going to help them finish off the project, but they weren't interested, so they repaired her as much as possible. She spent the rest of the war as a training ship. There were discussions about turning her into an aircraft carrier or finishing her off as a battleship, or discarding altogether. The decision was finally made to finish her as a battleship. The process took several years. Most of the work on the ship was completed by 1955. She entered active service and conducted 2 overseas cruise visits to Denmark and the United States. She also took part in the French invasion of the Suez crisis in 1956, including a brief 4-shot bombardment on Port Said. Reduced to reserve then in August 1957. She was then used as a barrack ship until 1961. She remains unused in the French Navy's inventory up until 1970, where she was struck from the naval register and so for scrap. So back to the gameplay. As you can see, Bun managed to get a sitting down and rack up 82,000 damage within the first 5 minutes of the engagement, but that's going to change, and that's going to change drastically. It's going to be given away in the title. I'm not too sure. I know they're up there in the high 270s, possibly 280s for damage records. I don't know if this is actually a damage record for a battleship. I don't know if it beats the previous record being held by the Amagi, not accounting the Iowa, because we've seen the Iowa. The Iowa has been Yamato. The Yamato has struck over 300,000 damage. But for an actual tier 7 battleship, this might actually be a new record. If it's not, it's definitely a record for the Jean Bart, and it's definitely up there. It's got to be in the top 10 damage dealt by non-legendary ships. So let's see how this progresses. So Bun starts backing up, starts reversing a little, paying attention to the destroyer that was spotted over on the sea cap as she lines up a shot on the Iowa. Almost maximum range, and it's got good range. The Jean Bart guns are very accurate as well. It does really. It's a real contender. The Iowa was sort of king of the long range for the longest since the game's come out. But now at least there's something that definitely compete and sort of keep the Iowa players of this world in check, which I'm sure everyone will appreciate. So another salvo up to 111,000 damage. So that's changed quite quickly, isn't it? And there we go. Second citadel in the match, 127,000 damage. Bun doesn't have a mic. The story behind it is her bunny ate it. I'm assuming didn't swallow the thing whole, so chewed it up and damaged it. Bloody animals. But if you notice and pay attention, she regularly uses the chat wheel to let her team know, like, focus over here, look, there's something over here, and if you haven't got a mic, it's surprising how effective that can be. See there, concentrate fire. There's a Benson there. Like, be aware, It's obviously nobody wants to get torpedoed, and unfortunately, there we go. The team is paying attention, and the Benson is struck off the register by the Colorado, and now, well, we have a second destroyer coming in. The mass Bun slows down to obviously prevent being hit by any torpedoes.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Starts turning in to get guns around.
Torpedoes, get ahead.
Absolutely right call. There are the torpedoes. Goodbye, mass.
Enemy destroyer fired.
That scores Bun the first kill in the match. As unfortunately the Colorado did get completely obliterated by the mass. Now, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the very top of the screen. There is now 2 versus 5 ships left. Alright, that Iowa's really low health. 2 versus 4 ships left.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
As she gets her hit points, the damage up to 137,000. 137,000 is impressive by itself, let's be honest. I'm pretty familiar with 150,000 damage games, but this early, this many ships left, 3 battleships. I think we've seen the Miyoko is pretty much full health. A really unlucky salvo again on that Vanguard. I forgot, didn't pay attention to the markers, but Bun Bun does seem to be having a lot of over penetrations. Maybe Jean is too good for the tier. So 142,000, and is that salvo going to hit? Another Citadel, 157,000, and again over penetrations on an Amagi that was way out there. Now the other battleships are closing in, trying to cause some damage. So we've got the Nagato, the Amagi, and the Vanguard.
Confirmed penetration.
And Bun Bun does exactly the right thing. Angles herself so she's kind of defensive against both the Nagato and the Iowa. Does take some nasty hits. That Nagato has got some really good guns. Decides to change focus to the Vanguard because the Vanguard was showing a bit more broadside. And there we go, Confederate. 6 pens and 1 over penetration. 183,000 damage. And yeah, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop racking up. So the Nagato switches to high explosive, obviously looking to cause a fire, which it successfully does. Puts the fire out, fires a salvo in return, and almost finishes off the Nagato. Left the Nagato with a couple of thousand hit points. I would say, did she make a mistake? Should she have held her fire for a little bit longer? But judging by the end, no one can judge. And there we go, another Citadel, 196,000 damage, and the Nagato is gone. So now to focus on the Vanguard. Unusual, I thought the Vanguard, I would have expected the Vanguard to have fired high explosive on the British ships is really good. And they're over pens, again 1 over pen, 4 hits. So even on battleships, Bun Bun is suffering from over penetration on broadside targets. But that is what makes this ship so good. It doesn't matter what angle you shoot at ships. You know, you're gonna cause damage. You're gonna get a lot of penetrations. And another Citadel, and there goes the Vanguard picking up kill number 4 and 214,000 damage. And unfortunately losing a gun from, I think that was from the Amagi shots, wasn't it? And I got 3 over penetrations on a broadside Vanguard. I would be tempted. Maybe that's something people need to think of, because Jean is really good, and he's really good at inspirations. But is he not the best captain to have because he just over penetrates too much? Well, 2 Citadel hits then, 249,000 damage. Yeah, I'm assuming Bun Bun runs Jean. Hopefully she'll drop into the comments and give us a bit of a rundown on the build. And there is a very well deserved Kraken Unleashed and 250,000. Now, although she's done a great job catching up with the enemy team on kills, bringing it down to a 1v1, the enemy are still ahead by 600 points. So Bun Bun is gonna have to kill this Mayoko. Well, but this is where I think definitely this Mayoko was stupid. They could have won by running, but full health Mayoko, I can understand wanting to have a go at a tier 7 battleship. As Bun Bun scores 15,000 damage with another Citadel lined up. One turret is completely lost now, and another Citadel hit, and we're down into the very last couple of seconds of this match. This really is going to go down to the wire, and battle ends.
The ship is on fire.
Absolute heartbreaker. A defeat with 281,000 damage and a Kraken. That should have been a win. That was extremely well deserved and an absolutely amazing game. So thank you very much for bringing it to my attention and for allowing me to do a commentary on it. And well, until next time, take care.